Hello and welcome to another episode of Discover with Spinetti. I'm your host, none other than none other than Dr. Spinetti. And today we're talking about raising your standards. Let me just go live here on Instagram. Why are we talking about standards? Because yesterday we talked about something really important with regards to standards, specifically regards to conditioning and how other people treat you and how you allow people to treat you. Well, today we're talking about standards and how you live your own life so that other people can treat you properly and so that you can treat yourself properly, because that's where it starts off. Whenever you have high standards, then you attract people who have high standards. When you don't have high standards, if you're like 95% of the people who are living normally or average, you don't have much of a standard. You're kind of just going with the flow. You're being normal. Now, what's the problem with being normal? The problem with being normal is that it's not very fulfilling. You only get one chance at this thing called life, only one chance. And if you don't actually maximize it and you don't live according to your absolute best potential, as Aristotle once said, he said that life is about living to our own potential, which is to strive to push ourselves to the upper limits of our own potential. And that is what life is all about. Plato said that life is about being happy, but happiness is equated to progress, and progress is equated to living to our potential. So potential is raising your standard. Now, if you're going to be raising your standard, what does that mean? It means that you're only going to accept a certain level of fitness level for yourself. So when you see yourself in the mirror, do you accept what you're looking at? Is that acceptable to you? And the answer is that it should be no, because it should be always, I can do better. With regards to your finances, when you look at your bank account, you look at how much money you have in the bank, you say to yourself, is that enough? Is that according to my standard? And the answer should always be no. Do you get the rhythm here? So the thing is that when you are raising your standard, even the people that you hang around with, you have to analyze. You say, okay, are these people in my life? Are they fitting my standard? Or is it time for me to reevaluate who's hanging around with me? And that is the whole point of raising your standard. Now, what's the point of raising the standard besides your own life? I mean, really, if that's not a good enough reason, I don't know what is, but it's to literally be able to attract the proper people to your life. Only 5% of people in this world, only 5%. So if you take 100 people, only 5 of them actually have high standards. The rest don't. So it's very hard to find these people. And some even say it's the top 2% or 1% of society that actually have high standard. The rest are just cruising, which means it's very difficult for you to find these people that you want to relate to, the people that actually have high standards, the people who are the movers and shakers of the world. Let me ask you a question. When you are looking for inspiration, are you looking to look for inspiration from the 99% of the normal people, or 95% of the people that are normal, living their life normally, having, low expectations, living for the weekend, taking 2 weeks off for vacation, the waiting until 65 to retire, the usual? Or are you looking for people that are hyper intelligent, the people that are pushing themselves to the limit, reading every day, going to the gym daily, making sure that they eat the proper foods, interacting with the proper people, improving their life on a higher standard, always having high energy because their life demands it? Which one do you actually look forward to when it comes to inspiration? Obviously, it's the ones that are pushing themselves. You got to ask yourself why. So this is the Sunday message for today at Discover with Spinati on episode number 141, which is for you to raise your standard in order for you to live a much better life and for you to take care of your life. Because as Aristotle once said, the absolute reason for us human beings, for us to live, is for us to reach beyond our potential, or to reach our potential. So reach your potential, and as always and forever, keep smiling.